Hello everyone, it's Eagle of Zeus here again, and I just want to make a quick video talking about the 12 Olympian gods, also known as the Dodekatheon. And the 12 Olympians are the most important and most revered gods of the entire Greek pantheon. And I'm sure most of you are familiar with them, and you probably learned about them in school and are familiar with their mythologies. So, let's see. So the 12 Olympian gods are Zeus, of course, and he is the king of the gods, god of the sky, weather, law and order, destiny and fate, and kingship. And he's probably the most well-known of all the Olympians. You know, he's the king of the gods. He's the father of mankind. Zeus is probably the most important god of the Greek pantheon and of Hellenic polytheism. And then, of course, there's Hera. And she is the queen of the gods, goddess of marriage, women, the sky, and the stars of heaven. And Hera, of course, is the wife of Zeus and also his sister. And she's also very important in the Greek pantheon and in Hellenic polytheism. And she's the mother of mankind. And then there's Poseidon. And of course, he's the god of the sea, earthquakes, floods, drought, and horses. And Poseidon's also a very important deity. He's, of course, the brother of Zeus and Hera, and a lot of the other Olympians. And then there's Hermes, and he's the god of herds and flocks, travelers and hospitality, roads and trade, thievery and cunning, heralds and diplomacy, language and writing, athletic contests and gymnasiums, and astronomy and astrology. And of course, he's the messenger of the gods. So he's a god of a lot of different things, but he's mainly associated with being the messenger of the gods and travel, being, the god of traveling and travelers. And then we have Hephaestus, and he's the god of fire, smiths, craftsmen, metalworking, stonemasonry, and sculpture. And, most of you probably know he crafts the weapons for the gods and the heroes. So Hephaestus is definitely an important deity. And then we have Demeter, and she's the goddess of agriculture, grain, and bread. And Demeter is probably most well known from the myth of Persephone and Hades, and she's Persephone's mother. So she's a very important agricultural goddess. And then, of course, we have Athene, the goddess of wisdom and good counsel, war, and the defense of towns, heroic endeavor, weaving, pottery, and other crafts. But she's most well known as the goddess of wisdom and war strategy. So she's also very important, of course, and all of the gods are important. Alright, and then we have Artemis, and she's the goddess of hunting, the wilderness, wild animals, childbirth, and young girls. She's the protectress of young girls. And she's also associated with the moon as well. She's not the goddess of the moon, but she's associated with the moon. And then we have her twin brother, Apollon, and he's the god of prophecy and oracles, music, song and poetry, archery, healing, plague and disease, and young boys. He's the protector of young boys, just as his sister Artemis is the protectress of young girls. And Apollon is probably one of the most well-known deities of the Greek pantheon. He's very important. A lot of people worship him and are devoted to him, including myself. So he's obviously very important and revered. And then we have another goddess, we have a goddess who's also very revered and well known, which is Aphrodite, the goddess of love, beauty, pleasure, and procreation. And, you know, most people know Aphrodite. She's most well known as the goddess of love and beauty. And I'm also a devotee of hers as well. And then we have Ares, the god of war, battle lust, courage, and civil order. And I feel Ares is one of the more misunderstood gods of the Greek pantheon, because a lot of people view Ares as being very, you know, kind of heartless and cruel and violent. But he's not like that at all. Ares is a god of courage and, you know, I view him as a god of honor and, you know, fighting for what you believe in. Or he can even be associated with sports. You know, if you play sports, you can pray to Ares to get courage and to win at whatever sport you're playing. So Ares is a god of courage and, you know, honor. And so that's how he really is. He's not like how a lot of media portrays him as this, you know, violent, angry villain type. He's not like that at all. And then for the 12th Olympian, there's actually, I'm going to include both of them in this video, but some people view Dionysus as the 12th Olympian, while other people view Hestia as the 12th Olympian. Traditionally in ancient Greece, the ancient Greeks viewed Hestia as the 12th Olympian, but a lot of modern day Hellenists view Dionysus as the 12th Olympian. But I'm going to include them both in this video. So Dionysus is the god of wine, vegetation, pleasure, festivity, madness, and wild frenzy, and he's also the god of theater as well. He's most well known as being the god of wine, but he's much more than that. He's also a god of freedom and joy and, you know, just being yourself, being, you know, your true self, not being ashamed of your humanity, embracing your humanity and your wild side, as you'd call it. So he's also a very important and revered deity. And then there's Hestia, who's also very, very important. Like I said, all of the gods are important, but Hestia is the goddess of the hearth and the home and the sacrificial flame. And Hestia is a very important goddess of the home because she is the goddess of the hearth and the family, and she watches over the household and the family. So, of course, she's very important as well. So those are the 12 or 13, I should say, Olympians, or the Dodekatheon. Like I said, they're all very important, just like all of the Theoi are important. But they're probably the most revered and the most well-known of all the Greek pantheon, and in Hellenic polytheism, they're the most worshipped. And now, that's not saying that all the other Theoi are less important than them, or that doesn't mean that the other Theoi don't matter, but they are the most revered and the most worshipped by the followers of Hellenic polytheism. So I hope this video was helpful, and I hope it was informative. And I just want to say real quick, and I'm going to make a video about this more in depth later, about mythology and not taking mythology literally, because specifically Zeus and Hera are, you know, people think badly about them because of mythology. You know, they think Zeus, you know, is just goes around sleeping with everyone, and they think Hera is some jealous, evil woman who, you know, hurts people and stuff out of jealousy. But they're not like that at all. In reality, that is just mythology. We don't take mythology literally. They're just stories, and they're just allegories, basically. But like I said, I'll make a more in-depth video about that later. This video is just talking about the 12 Olympians, the Dodekatheon, and explaining a bit about what they're the god of, or goddess of. I do plan on making a video series later. Like, each video is going to focus on one of the Dodekatheon, and I'm going to be going into more detail about them. But this is just an overview of all of the 12 Olympian gods, the Dodekatheon. So, once again, I hope this video was helpful and informative, and I will see you guys in the next video, and may the gods bless you. Bye!